Hi, I'm Kelly Steyn, and I am a realtor with the PhillyLiving team here at Keller Williams, and I'm also the sales manager for our team. And I just wanted to share some information with you about the home buying process, give a general overview if you're thinking about buying a house and what that looks like. When you start the home buying process, you want to get the right team on your side, and that's selecting your best agent for you and the best mortgage professional. So let's talk about selecting the best realtor. You'll be working with this realtor for potentially many months, so you want to make sure that you trust them, you like them, you feel comfortable with them, and have a good rapport. A great way to find a realtor is to ask your friends and family that recently purchased a home if they have a great recommendation. Next, you'll want to get pre-approved. Your agent will likely have a local recommendation for a mortgage professional for you to connect with. This is really not a step to be missed or skipped early on in the process. It's really informative to understand all of the financials involved and know where you stand and how comfortable you are purchasing a home. If you're concerned that you might not be financially qualified or your savings isn't where it should be, don't hesitate to talk to the mortgage professional early on. It's free, and knowledge is really power in this scenario. Your mortgage professional will take time to go through your financial situation. They'll discuss things like down payment and closing costs, things about like property taxes that will vary depending on locations that you're looking to purchase, as well as transfer tax, which is part of your closing costs. They'll also want to talk to you about what you feel comfortable spending per month, so they can kind of work backwards using that number to determine how much of a loan that you'll want to take. Some people think that they need 20% down for their mortgage, and that's simply not the case. There's various loan programs out there, anywhere from 0% down for USDA loans or VA loans, all the way from 3, 3.5, 5, 10, 15, 20. So there's lots of programs that you'll want to talk to your lender about to see what you qualify for. One thing I do want to note is that the minimum credit score for a mortgage is 580. So they'll talk to you about that, and they have to run your credit in order to determine the best mortgage program for you. So don't get nervous about getting your credit pulled. It is a soft pull and it won't affect your score, but it really is necessary in determining your interest rate and the best mortgage program for you. Once you have your finances in order, you're going to speak with your agent and talk about your ideal home. So you're going to analyze all your wants and your needs for your new home with your agent, and talk things about like location, if you want a single family home or a townhouse, condo, the style, size, also about how many bedrooms, bathrooms. Are you looking for a move-in ready home? Are you okay doing a little bit of sweat equity and putting some money into the house to make it your own? What I always recommend is having 5 non-negotiables. That helps you narrow down and keep you on track when you're house hunting. So what are those 5 things, such as having a backyard or a garage, 3 bedrooms? You'll talk with your agent to analyze all these things to make sure that you have a clear idea of what your next home looks like. Once you have your finances in order and your wish list, your agent's going to set you up on listing alerts and start sending you homes that meet your criteria. And then you guys can start doing the fun part of going house hunting in person and touring houses. The touring process can take anywhere from a few weeks to a few months to find your ideal home. Once you find the home that you want to submit an offer on, there are some documents involved to get that started. So the main one is the agreement of sale in Pennsylvania, and that outlines all the terms that you want to offer, such as the price, earnest deposit amount, settlement date, your finances, if there's any contingencies such as mortgage contingency and inspection contingency. There's also such things as personal property, things that are fixtures to the home. The most common ones are if you want to include the washer, dryer, and refrigerator. You're gonna analyze all of this with your agent, strategize the best offer for this specific house and for you. Now you have submitted your offer, you've spoken to your mortgage professional, making sure that all the numbers work for you. Now it's the seller's chance to maybe negotiate terms back. So there is some back and forth often depending on the market, and this can take anywhere from a couple hours to 24 hours. So just expect that time that the negotiation is all verbal once you submit your offer. And then once you get to if you come to terms and all parties sign off, and then you move to the next step of being under contract. I do want to also bring up, when you are negotiating back and forth, that you have in your own mind what your bottom line is, so you know if you need to walk away or not. Once you've come to a verbal agreement and all parties have signed the agreement of sale, you are officially under contract. So generally from the contract acceptance date to settlement or closing, that's anywhere from 30 to 60 days. During this time, the mortgage professional will file their application and they'll do their underwriting for your mortgage. The title company also gets involved to do their own searches and steps to clear title to the property, which means basically they make sure that there's no unpaid taxes, liens, or anything on the property and it's clear to move to the new owner. As a buyer, the contract for your home could be dependent on various conditions being met. The most common is a mortgage contingency, inspection contingency, and also sometimes there's a resale contingency if you have to sell your home before purchasing, and there are some conditions that the seller must meet as well. Let's dive in a little bit about the mortgage contingency. So you get pre-approved before you purchase a home, but once you're under contract, the mortgage company does their approval process based on that specific house, the property taxes, the sale price, and that you will get a mortgage commitment once you're under contract. Another major one is the inspection contingency. If you have that outlined in your contract, that gives you the ability to have various inspections on the property relevant for that house and gives you the opportunity to either negotiate after the inspection for repairs, reduction in price, or maybe even some credits, depending on how your contract is written. Another big thing to understand as a buyer is that the seller has obligation as well. Their main obligation is to provide clear title to the property. That's saying that they're able to sell the house, there's no liens on the property, and if there are, they're getting paid at settlement as well. During this phase, keep in mind that your realtor is keeping on top of deadlines and collaborating with all parties involved to help you through this process. So once all of the contingencies have been satisfied, you're getting closer to settlement, you will receive a few days prior to settlement or closing, as some people say, you'll receive your final numbers from your lender. And they will tell you the final amount due to bring to settlement. Also, a few days before settlement, or even sometimes the day of settlement, you will do your final walkthrough at your house with your agent to make sure everything is intact, the seller's moved out, and everything's good to go. Then you'll head to settlement, and at that time, you bring your certified check or your wire. You'll submit your wire to the title company for your final funds owed, and you'll sit down and you'll sign a lot of documents, both from the title company and the mortgage company. For New Jersey home buyers, the process is very similar to Pennsylvania, but the biggest difference we want to point out is that there is a 3-day attorney review period once you're under contract. So within 3 days, either party can terminate the deal with no penalty with the assistance of an attorney. For any further questions, definitely reach out to the Philly Living team. We are here to help you. Happy home buying!